This is going to show you how to make a service project image using my template in Photoshop. So go to your student folder, go to Adobe Photoshop Service Project Image folder, and inside that there should be a service project template.psd. Double click that to open it in Photoshop. Alright, so the first thing I want you to look at is on the far left. Let's take a look at all of our layers. Let's start with the first layer at top. This is the 8th grade logo. This is this logo right here. As you can see, they are all locked. The second layer is the service project text, which is right here. The third layer is the name and description text, which is right here. So let's start with this layer. The first thing we're going to do is unlock it. So click this lock button and it should disappear. Now look on your tools for the type tool. It's the T. Okay, so click on the T. And then I want you to come over to where it says name/names and click. And then you're going to change this to either just your name or the name of all the people in the group that you created for your service project. So I'm going to put 3 names here. Then we're going to go underneath that to where it says write/paste description of service project. Over here you can start writing your description, make it pretty short about what you did for your project. I already have one written, so I'm going to just paste it in. There you go. After you complete that, I want you to go back to this layer and lock it. Now we're going to go down and change the values of the amount of money we started and ended with. So go down to the layer that says 25, unlock it, and make sure you're still on the type tool, T, and just come over here and let's just change this to whatever the amount is you started with. Come back here, click it, and it'll rename it to that number. Lock it again, and then do the end number. Unlock, and let's just pretend I raised 500. Click, and lock. Very good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to import some images I took during my project. So inside my folder I should have some pictures right here. Let's look at them. Alright, I just hit spacebar to view them. I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to put it in. Let's hold down shift and resize it to write about them. I'm holding down shift. Let's get a little bit smaller and I'm going to bring it up and then click return to place it. Let's grab another one. We'll go with pick 3. Going to do the same thing, hold down shift and resize it to about the same. That's good. Go a little bit bigger. I'm holding down shift again, then return to place. And let's get one more in there. We'll get this one. Hold down shift. Whoosh. That's pretty good. And return to place. So as you can see over here, I now have these 3 layers. I'm going to just take them and put them right above my background layer. Okay. Now let's play around a little bit with these images. I'm going to start with my pick 1 and go right up here to your move tool. It looks like a bunch of crosses. And let's see. I'm going to just move this one here. If I hit Command T, that's Command T as in truck. This will allow me to rotate and then resize again by holding shift if need be. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit like that and then hit return to place. Let's go to the next one. Command T. Do the same thing. Maybe I'm going to rotate it a little this way. Let's bring it in. I want to put that one at the bottom. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Good. Just like that. Return to place. Let's click this one. Command T. Let's bring it up. And maybe a tad bit smaller too. Like this. And I'm going to twist it like that. And then return to place. I want this layer to be above this layer. So let's go. This is number 3 and this is number 4. So basically I'm going to come over to my layers and I'm going to bring 3 above 4, and now that's above it. That looks pretty good. So let's lock down these layers. I just highlighted them all by holding down Shift and then hitting the lock button. So the last thing you can do is play around with some of the colors. So let's first play around with the background color. So go to your background layer at the bottom, unlock it. At the way top where it says Photoshop CC, go over to Image, go to Adjustments, let's go to Hue and Saturation. This little menu should come up, place it so you can still see your image and play around with the hue, and that should change that background color. The saturation will make it really brighter and colorful. This will make it duller and all the way down to black and white. So play around with this to get it how you want it. I'll click OK. And then after you have it where you want it, make sure you relock that layer. You can also change the colors of these rectangles, okay? So let's go look at our layers. The first one is the Service Project rectangle. That represents this blue rectangle underneath Service Project. Let's unlock it. If you double click on it and look at the bottom under Properties, you will see the color right here. Let's click on that color, and this is where you can change the color of that rectangle. So let's just make it red. If you want to really look for colors, you can click this button here and you can choose a wide variety of colors, okay? But you can only preview it after you hit OK. So let's do that. Where you get it where you want it, relock it. You can also do the same thing for the text if you want. So let's go to Service Project Text right up here, this layer here. Let's unlock it and make sure you're on your T for your type tool. And if you look all the way at the top up here, you will notice a color. Click on that, and this is where you can change the color of that. Okay? After you do that, relock it, and you can do that for all the rectangles and all the text. After you're done, make sure you go File, Save As. Make sure you're in your folder. You can click on this if you do not have the full mode and go to your student files and choose your folder, or you can simply search for your name here and you should find your folder. Double click inside, rename where it says Save As template to your name. I'm going to do Mr. I like underscores Anderson and click Save. And you are done. Good luck.